So really exciting news for young athletes. Women's soccer just got bigger. So in the U.S., a new professional women's soccer team was announced yesterday. And we know that the first Canadian pro soccer league is set to kick off in 2 years. So, Stephen, listen, you are on this panel, the soccer expert, or football on the other side of the pond. Is this finally a sustained turning of the tide for young girls who really believe they can have a future as a professional athlete?
It absolutely is, and it's such exciting news to think that someone's paying $53 million for a franchise in the Bay Area. It's enormous. It shows this league started with franchise values at around $2 million, so to see that progression, a bit like MLS has done on the male side for 25 plus years, is very exciting. I think the group behind it as well is amazing. And it's not just the investment in the actual, the franchise, it's the infrastructure around that. They're going to spend $722 million on training ground and infrastructure that's going to help the women's game in that area. And so, amazing to see the NWSL go from strength to strength, of course, but it is a US league. And the most important thing for us here in Canada is the launch of the Women's League, National Women's League in Canada, with Diana Matheson in our group. Tremendous people behind it. Really got some fabulous momentum. It's going to be, a whirlwind 2 years for them as they try and prepare a league and hopefully get 8 teams in that league. But so excited to see it grow and to watch these ladies, use all their experiences and to try and create a better future for young girls out there. A future that hopefully can see them become professionals for however long, decade plus.
And make money that can
Yes.
sustain a life. Yes. If I can put you on the spot a little bit, we talked about it on this show with Rick Westhead, who is a colleague at TSN, about the disaster that is happening currently with the Canadian women's team and how there's just such a massive difference in the resources and pay between the women's team and the men's team. For the women who are champions through and through and through and through, and for the men, no offense, not even coming close.
Yeah.
And so how do you think this is going to perhaps pressure those proceedings?
Well, the prize money should be the same, simply. It should be the same. It should be the same from Canada Soccer, same from FIFA. I mean, it absolutely must get to that point. I think when it comes to the operational stuff from Canada Soccer, we saw some of the Heritage Committee hearings and a lot of mistakes have been made. Hopefully they will be remedied so that there's more parity, there's more equity between the men's and the women's side. It has to be there, and, we're living in 2023. It's essential. I think it's going to come, but it's a slow process, and these women have had to beat against the door every single day. I think the people like Diana Matheson, Christine Sinclair, record goal scorer in international football, men's and women's side, Canadian icon, a legend of the game, is still fighting this cause, still having to fight every single day for conditions to stay in the right hotels, to have the right nutrition, to have the infrastructure needed to perform at the highest level. It's actually a little embarrassing that we're still talking about it, but hopefully there's enough momentum now and these ladies get what they deserve, which is the same environment as the men to perform.
I agree with you. I think that, I'm glad you used the word embarrassing, because I do also think that, it embarrasses me when I see the way the game is played by the women and I compare it to the way the game is played by the men. Football is the primary sport in my home. My husband is a massive EPL fan. Tottenham Hotspur, by the way. Sorry, I don't know if I have to apologize. And so every weekend, it's on 8 screens, these games, and I see these players. You talked about the fact that this team was bought for $52 million. Sometimes for some people in the EPL, that's like 50% of one guy's salary. Seriously, there are guys making £100 million a year, right? So that's a bargain. And these guys, these millionaires are running around and you tap them like this and they fall and cry and are the flopping in the men's game is so embarrassing to me. The ladies have been elevating the game and playing it in a way that's beautiful. I mean, it's a work of art. And I think to myself, oh, I'm sorry, it's a bargain. You can buy a team for $52 million and that might not get you half a player in the professional leagues in Europe. That to me is embarrassing when these women have been doing such a service to this game. So, yes.
Yeah.
Stephen,
I agree. But when
I
you talk about that diving, the worst culprit is probably your husband's team, Tottenham Hotspur. Harry Kane,
I
the
disagree.
captain,
I
he saw
think
it on
Jack
Monday.
I'm going to
Grealish is
stop
the
that
worst
combo
flopper.
right there.
Jack Grealish makes
guys can talk on commercial
£300,000 a
break.
week, by the way.
Listen, Stephen, your day job, because you
Yes.
cover Major League Soccer for TSN. Now, prior to that, you actually played in the league for Toronto FC. What do you love so much about covering MLS?
MLS is a crazy league. It's very exciting to watch. It's grown a lot since I came here in 2013 to play for TFC, and the trajectory of the league has been significant. So that's been exciting to watch. It's at a point now where the franchise values in MLS are getting up to 300, 400 million. So it's significant. And it's had such growth that I just hope it sustains. When I look at some of the new franchises, they're up to 29 teams this year. They're trying to bring even more in. There's a little bit dilution in the quality, which I'm a bit concerned about. But some of these academies throughout North America, the way that they're producing young players now is very exciting. So I'm very proud to have been part of a lot of that growth, a little bit as a player and then a lot as an analyst. It's been amazing to see. It's got some way to go before it's EPL standards and someone's getting 100 million. But I do think that there is a day that I could see North American League, MLS, being one of the biggest in the world.
It's so exciting. If you want to catch Stephen in action, you can watch TSN's MLS coverage. It's this Saturday, April 8th, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. The Vancouver Whitecaps take on the Portland Timbers. This has been a blast having you here.
Thank you
so
for having
much,
me.
Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.